You too.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Joe. It's good to meet you.
What's up?
Hey, it's good to see you. What can I call you?
Jorge is my name.
Hey, Jorge.
Hey.
Well, welcome.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about what's going on for you. And what brought you here today?
Well, I guess I'm here because I recently got second DUI, and so just kind of looking to kind of figure out life, and I don't know. People have been hinting that I have maybe an alcohol problem. So I just kind of want to figure out if I do. I mean, I feel like I don't drink more than they do.
Right.
We all kind of drink the same amount, and I don't know. I just feel like I kind of got unlucky, and I'm here.
Sure.
You know?
Sure. So it sounds like you feel like you drink the same amount as your peers or your buddies do, but your consequences are a little bit different. Yet, you know, you've had some DUI this year, second DUI.
Yeah.
So you're kind of exploring, you know, what does that look like for you?
Yeah, it's kind of causing some problems, like personally, just myself and like my wife.
Right.
She's you know, kind of like, you got to go take care of this, you know, and yeah.
Well, talk to me about that as far as the problems it's causing for you, outside of the stuff with your wife. I mean, the DUI obviously is an issue, right?
Yeah.
So talk to me about what you feel like you're ready to do in regards to this thing that, you know, other people are bringing up as an issue for you. How do you feel about it as it being an issue for you?
I mean, I really don't think it's that much of
You don't think it is?
I mean, I've been doing this for a long time, you know, and it's just like a part of everyday life. I drink maybe every day I have like a drink or two, you know, and I don't think that's a big deal. You know, I mean, it's just kind of expected.
Right. Well, you know, at the end of us getting to know each other and having these sessions, you might decide that you're not ready to quit drinking.
I mean, yeah. Or, I don't know. I'm just trying to figure it out, you know?
Yeah. So talk to me about some of the things that you've tried in the past, maybe, to cut back on your drinking, and other people have pointed this out to you before. What has been the outcome of that?
Oh, man, in the past, I don't think I've really tried.
Okay.
Maybe cutting back here or there, but I mean, there's always a function. There's always something to go to after work to go unwind. There's not a lot of options to not drink, I guess.
So what I hear you saying is that most everything that you do, you have to drink at.
I feel like, yeah, it's a compulsory in a sense.
It's a compulsory drinking. So
Yeah.
it's a prerequisite.
Social.
Yeah, social drinking.
Social drinking.
Yeah. So every social event that you go to, you have to drink at.
It's kind of expected,
Yeah.
you know, when you show up at like a social networking event or something, you know, it's like, oh, free drinks. I'm like, oh, why the hell not?
Free drinks, wow,
Yeah.
that is tempting.
Yeah, right.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So in your experience of hanging out with your friends at these social events where other people are drinking, what do you feel like? You said that they don't seem to have the same consequences as you. Do you feel like that your drinking is greater than theirs, or do you, like you said, you just feel like you're unlucky?
I just feel like I'm kind of, just kind of unlucky. I mean, I see people drinking all the time. It's just like part of the culture. It's part of being young, and you know, two DUIs is, you know, ridiculous for the amount of drinking I see out there. And like, I don't know. I feel like maybe if I just get better, I guess. I don't know.
More practice.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just it seems so foolish to me, and I get that it's like bad to have a DUI, but I feel like I'm not that bad of a person. Like, I don't deserve it.
Right,
you know?
right. So I think that's a great way to look at this. You know, it's more of a behavior around the drinking piece, you know, that has caused you to have these negative consequences. It doesn't make you a bad person.
Yeah.
You know, it's the choices that you're making are having bad consequences, right? So talk to me about some of the consequences that you're facing right now. I know you talked about your wife being unhappy with you.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit more about the legal stuff. What are you facing around that?
Lots of fines, mostly financial stuff. I mean, it goes on your record, and you know, it's just not a really good thing to have on your sheet,
right?
Sheet. Yeah, and it's just a lot of like the classes and not being able to drive and stuff. It's just a lot of inconveniences,
right?
But major ones.
Major inconveniences, right? There are major inconveniences.
Yeah.
So you talk about drinking being enjoyable and something that everybody does, yet you have all these other consequences that are really negative. How are you reconciling that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why you're here, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, you know.
Yeah. So let me ask you this: how ready do you think you are to make changes around your drinking?
I guess I recognize the issues because I consider myself smart
Mm-hmm.
and, and grounded in reality.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just hard to break a habit. It's something that makes you feel good every day. And
Right.
it's like a reward system
It's a
for
reward system. Yeah.
doing the things that you have to do throughout the day.
Right.
Like
A lot of people say that. A lot of people think
Yeah.
they view drinking as part of the big payoff for having done a good job. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I wreck it. I'm
Mhm.
awesome at
Mhm.
work, and and then after that, after I'm done just crushing it,
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to drink, and celebrate, and hang out with friends, and that's part of that.
Right. Well, cool. Yeah, absolutely. So, what you like hanging out with your friends, you like to drink with your friends, you're having these consequences. So, what about this stuff with the legal stuff and your job, and you're wrecking it at work? It sounds like you value that a lot. How might that impact your ability to kind of move forward in your career, to have these legal issues and these things on your record? I mean, how might that impact your ability to move forward? It sounds like you value work a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not good.
Yeah.
and I recognize that it's not good, and I recognize that it's an issue, and maybe I am ready to kind of like change some of the habits and change some behaviors, but it's just really hard.
Of
Because
course, yeah.
when you're in it, you're in it.
Right. Yeah, and people. I think most people find something pleasurable about drinking. That's why they do it, right?
Right.
So there's that part of it, and then having to reconcile all these, like I said, the negative consequences around your drinking. So if you had to look at a scale of 1 to 10,
Mm-hmm.
1 being least amount of readiness, 10 being the most amount of readiness, where would you find yourself on that scale as far as your capacity for creating a difference around the way you drink?
6 or 7.
6 or 7?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
So why is 6 or 7 and not 2 or 3 or 8 or 9?
well, it's not 2 or 3 because I'm not delusional. I understand that there's a problem. There's
Okay.
2 DUIs.
Awesome.
There's
Yeah.
and I understand that there's maybe some things I should change, and the wife is on my back, and that's never pleasurable.
That's never fun. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But it's just I guess I'm afraid that I'll have to change my entire life.
Right.
To change who I am
Okay.
as a being.
Okay. So you feel like it'll change the nuts and bolts of who you are, kind of
I guess.
take away your mojo.
Yeah.
Can you describe for me a time in your life when you weren't drinking and maybe interacting with friends where you felt like you were yourself and engaged and people really liked you even though you didn't have alcohol present?
No.
No?
I mean, not before I could drink.
Not before you could drink. Yeah.
Middle school.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just been happening for a long time.
Mm-hmm. So why not an 8 or 9? Because that would be closer to optimal readiness, right?
Yeah, I think it's just the changing of I want to still be able to have a drink every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
But as I understand it, if I try to stop drinking, I have to do it like stop altogether,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or
Well, that's subjective. I mean, some people make that decision that they need to stop everything, right? That they have to abstain from drinking completely.
Yeah.
And there are a couple of things that you have to look at. What are the legal consequences? What are the requirements of your probation? Have you gone to court yet? There are going to be some things that you have to look at. Am I going to have to take your urinary analysis when I see my probation officer?
Yeah.
And it's your second DUI, And so those are some of the things that might impact your decisions about whether or not you can drink moderately or whether or not you have to stop completely and need some help with that. So those are going to be decisions that you make moving forward.
Okay.
So what do you think about whenever you hear about things like that, about having those legal kind of repercussions and having to face a probation officer and if the requirement is that you not drink or go to bars?
Yeah.
How does that feel for you?
Sounds like a bummer.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. I guess I just have to pay my dues for what happened, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like I have to get it out of the way and jump through the hoops.
Right.
But I don't. It's gonna be hard, and I don't know.
So what are some of the things that you think you could do that would support your decision to cut back?
Maybe find some stuff to do that doesn't involve
You seem a little, yeah, you seem a little unsure about that.
everything involves drink. I mean, even going outside involves drinking. You know,
Going outside, yeah.
yeah, it's like, let's go on a hike, bring a 6-pack. You know,
Mhm.
it's but maybe just finding just things to go to that don't involve alcohol.
If you could identify like one person in your support network that would support your decision to cut back on drinking, who would that be?
That'd be my wife.
Your wife.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And outside of, you said that she nags you, but it sounds like she really is trying to give you love and support around that.
Yeah, she cares. Yeah, it's
Right.
a loving nag. It's never like
Yeah.
out of malice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not out of mouth. That's good.
Yeah.
It's good that she's not maliciously nagging you.
Yeah, she's not
Yeah.
like gunning for me. I know it comes from a good place.
So it sounds like that she could be a good part of your support system if you kind of let her in and the ways that she can support you,
Mhm.
with the way she cares about the consequences of your drinking and how it impacts you and your family and her, right? So that's one person. That's awesome that you can identify one person. Some people can't.
Yeah, and I'm lucky to have that, and it's a privilege because some people don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are you ready to do today?
I don't know. I know the big problem is it's not the drinking at home.
Okay.
I'm not getting DWIs driving from my living room to my bedroom.
You're not getting DUI driving? No?
No.
Yeah, I'm glad. Because that would be a really large house and something,
I don't make that much money.
Yeah.
I'm not crushing it that
You're
much.
not ready to work that much. Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
But maybe not going. Maybe finding a way to avoid going to maybe bars that I don't know. Maybe something like that.
So avoid going to bars.
Which is going to be very hard.
What would that look like for you? I mean, what would you do instead?
Go home. I don't know. Maybe maybe going to the gym or something.
So you mentioned to me that I know you were joking about driving from your living room to your bedroom.
Yeah.
So if driving is the problem, maybe that's that seems like we might be onto something there.
Yeah.
So if you're talking about going to bars, what is it if you enjoy going to bars and you're getting DWIs or DUIs, then what could you do? What could you set a goal to do today, maybe that would reduce your risk for having that happen again?
It's not driving.
Oh, there you go.
I know, right? It's pretty obvious.
What?
I know. I never think about that. But
yeah.
Doing that. Maybe getting a taxi or having a friend take me.
Yeah. How does that, I mean, I see your face change a little bit when you talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
As far as like the how realistic is it for you to set that goal?
I mean, it's just a matter of just deciding that needs to happen. I don't. It's difficult because it's just it's easier to just go drive there and leave whenever you want.
Right. Absolutely. They have the freedom to move about. Yeah, but at the same time, you have the freedom to drive, but it sounds like that your freedom to drive is at risk anyway.
Yeah, it is.
So that's I think that's a good place to kind of direct your attention is that because it's change is always difficult. And you said that we all I think identify even the small changes as being difficult as human beings.
Yeah.
And you've identified drinking as bringing you joy. It's a way you celebrate your successes. Mm-hmm. It connects you to your friends, right?
Yeah.
Everything that you do socially is centered around drinking.
Mm-hmm.
The driving, right? So the driving is out of all that's 5 things we identified. Out of those 5 things, it's one thing that you're setting your sights on. How does that feel to you? So you got 5 things that you enjoy, one thing to take away. How does that feel? Does that seem reasonable to you?
I mean, it's a reasonable thing to do. I mean, it's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
It's just sometimes you don't think about it. Sometimes you're just kind of like, I'm just gonna go do whatever the hell I want whenever I want because I earned it. Or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think I can do that.
You do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think that's a good goal to set. Absolutely. You know, and especially because, you know, I do think that there are so many things that you're connected to around your social networks and what they do socially, that it's difficult, I think, whenever you make these huge decisions like I'm never going to a bar again.
Yeah.
You know, it's just that seems a little for me that would be difficult to make that big of a change all at once.
Yeah, and I think the fear, I guess, that I had starting this was that I would have to make a lot of those wholesale changes right off the bat.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and that's terrifying.
Yeah.
For me, because I don't know, I feel like I would lose my social network, you know, and I would.
Right. Right. Well, you know, you're in charge of the decisions that you make. It's, you know, you get to decide how this is going to look for you moving forward. You know, and no one else can tell you how to do it, right?
Right.
I mean, I think you have the answers inside of what you need to make this a better situation for yourself.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you get to decide. You're the one that's the expert around this, right?
Yeah, it's just sometimes you forget that when you go into these
Yeah.
sort of sessions. You just dread it, you know?
Yeah.
It's like going to the doctor.
What do you mean these sessions? I'm kidding. Well, I'm glad this has been a different experience for you. So let's look at it from this perspective. So, leaving today, the one goal that you're going to take away with you is that. Can you state it for me?
I'll not drive to the bar or away from the bar.
So that's great.
Yeah.
How?
Cabs or friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Or my wife can pick me up.
And she is what? Is she your ally in this?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Good work. That's great.
All
It's a great decision to make.
Well, thank you. That's it.
Oh, okay. So we'll see each other the same time next week. Is that good for your schedule?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. All right. And we'll kind of check in and see how that goal went for you,
Mm-hmm.
and what some of the problems might have been in achieving that goal if you weren't able to, and then we'll just kind of look at the success of the goal also.
Okay.
You know, so I'm glad that you were able to come in here and come to some kind of a solution, just a small thing that you can take away with you today. And just remember that if you don't achieve that goal, you know, if you find yourself driving to the bar and you drive after you've drank some liquor, don't let that stop you from coming back.
Okay.
Because this is not about success or failure, it's about you trying, right?
Yeah.
And the only time that you should feel shameful about any of this is if you just don't try at all. You know, and that's not even shameful, but that's the only thing that you could really mess up, is if you just give up and say, well, I've screwed up, so I'm not coming back. So just make sure that you come back next week,
Okay.
no matter what.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. I will.